Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference to preview our game against Ipswich Town. Just before we start, a quick reminder to anyone using the mic today, if you can hold it as close as you can to your mouth, because I think people listening at home on the YouTube have not been able to always pick up the questions. So please make sure you're using the mic properly. And we'll start off with Vinny from Sky.
David, a win would take you over the 40-point mark. How much of an achievement would that be, given the position the club was in when you took over?
The position when we came in, obviously 40 points would be a great achievement if we can do that, and hopefully we can do that with the games remaining somewhere. I would like Everton to be thinking a lot higher than more than 40 points in the future. But I take your point. Where we come in, it's a great position for us to be in. We've not got the stress of the remaining games and any of them having a great relevance to where we finish. But we want to keep doing well. Team have been playing well in lots of games, so we hope we can keep it up.
I know we've asked about building on what you've been able to do so far this season as well. In terms of that then, and looking ahead, probably going to have to keep asking you now as well, what about decisions taken on those players who are out of contract, those loan players as well? Where are you at as regards that?
Well, we're still looking, but we're also pretty strong in what we're going to do, and we have an idea of what we're going to do. We're still waiting on our new CEO join shortly, and we're still in discussions doing several things, but we can tell all the Evertonians that we're underway behind the scenes. But we'll keep things correct and quiet, and hopefully do things the right way if we can do that.
But one player that has been highlighted is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and that potentially he's decided that he would like to stay on Merseyside. Has he given any indication to you that that's what he's feeling at the moment?
Well, I think the way the team's playing and the goals we're scoring, the chances we're making, will give Dom a lot more hope that he wants to try and work his way back to the top again. And by doing that, he needs to score goals, have assists, and I think that the team might be able to give him something like that. So he's part of that group of players who are coming out of contract, who we'll discuss with and see how things go in the coming weeks.
Is there any extra detail you can give? Because we know there's been a contract offer on the table. Has there been a renewal of that? Has there been anything different as regards to
all I can say, there's not been a contract offer on the table since I've been here, Vinny. I think the contract offer was here under a different regime. So we want everybody to have to fight for what they're doing. They have to show what they're worth. So there's a lot of that way. We're taking a little bit of time to look at. We've not had loads of time since January, but we've had some time. Unfortunately, Dom's been injured for a big part of it, but Dom's history has been very good, so obviously we'll be taking all that into consideration.
Any chance of him figuring this weekend?
Yeah, I'm hoping to have Dom around it. He's trained this week. In truth, it would probably be too quick to put him back in, and even minutes is a little bit worrying, but I think I want to get him back involved. We've only got 3 or 4 weeks to go. I've tried to do it with a lot of the players who come back from injury, got them back in quite quickly, and even if I sat them on the bench, and they might get a bit of time, they might not sure.
Last one on forward planning, but budget-wise, have you been able to establish that, and you've got a figure in mind as to the numbers that you need to get in this summer? Yeah, I appreciate it ties in with those who are staying.
Well, you want to know, I'm really a manager who I'm not really that bothered about the budget. I just want them to give me what I want. So that's it. And if I can't get what I want, then I'll have to go for something else. I'll try something else. But I'm not really that worried. And the budget word I don't really like. I'd rather be a manager who I'll bring the players to the table, and if we can get them, great. If we can't, and they're too expensive, or we can't get them, then we'll try and find something else.
Can you tell us what you want?
There's a lot of things we want. The big thing is to keep trying to improve. But we've been here many years ago when it was a similar situation, and we had to build it a little bit by bit. I won't be here for 11 years this time, but I hope that I can do a sort of similar job and start bringing Everton back up towards the top of the league.
You could be here for 11 years.
I could be, but my wife and myself are probably thinking, no, we better enjoy some time in life somewhere along the road.
2 games, though, to go at Goodison. Is there, or does there feel to be, any extra pressure to get maximum points from those?
Well, there's pressure in football in every game you come in, but you've probably covered the club over the last couple of years. The pressure the players in the club have been under in the last few years, it's been incredible. Our pressure now is to play well at Goodison, for the supporters, for everybody who's been coming to the stadium for years and years, for the families who've been here. The pressure is not one of, are we going to survive or not? We have done, and the job's try to play with a little bit of freedom, but obviously a determination to do well for everybody who turns up to watch us.
Thanks, David. Good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks, Vinny. We'll go to Ian at Premier League Productions.
Thank you.
Hi.
Just on that point, David, how much do you want your players to enjoy these last couple of matches at Goodison and really savour what is an extra special circumstance for you all?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the players, I can see them in training every day. I think they're enjoying their work. I think they're obviously playing with a lot more freedom. They've not got the stress and the pressure of a relegation battle on their hands at the moment. We did have a couple of months ago, and I thought they came through it brilliantly well. You know, they showed their colours in the games that they won in the run of unbeaten games we went on. We've just come out a really difficult run of games where we played probably a lot of the so-called top teams. So this period now gives us a chance where we'll have an equal chance in a lot of the games. We have to try and show what we can do.
Kieran McKenna said in his press conference that he's a big admirer of yours and he admires the fact that you've been able to stay at the very top level for a long time. What do you think the most important aspect of your work has been to be able to do that?
I have a huge love of the game. It's easy to say to work hard is important, but I think within my job I try and work hard when I can. I've always tried to keep improving and not sit back. If it's something which I don't think you get the job and you put your feet under the table and you think you've done a good job, I think I have to, as a manager, you need to keep going. And I do. There's a little bit of, I take a little bit of pride in longevity, because longevity in any type of job means that you've done quite well. I've been really fortunate to manage loads of games in the Premier League, never mind the Championship as well, but been the manager of quite a few teams in the Premier League, and that tends to be a sign that people think you're doing okay or you can do a decent job. So, but more importantly, I'm really thankful that I've been given the chance to come back to Everton, because I think maybe the time was right for, if anybody was going to come back, there's a lot of brilliant managers been here over the years, but maybe the time was right for me to come back and sort of hopefully steer the ship in the right direction. We've still got a long way to go, but we've started pretty well at the moment.
Do you think you're the best version of you that you've ever been as a manager now?
I've always said in probably all the press conferences, you probably hear me said many times, I've said, I always think the best is still to come. I've been really fortunate recently that I've been able to win a trophy. I've been taking teams into Europe for the last 3 years in a row. So, yes, but I still hope the best is still to come in us, and I've got to hope that the years I've got with Everton just now, I can try and get something close to those levels.
How do you assess Ipswich?
Great young manager who half the country wanted last year. I said that I think he was the only one, and I could stand corrected here, so if I'm wrong here, that I think that he's the only one who's taken a team from the First Division to the Championship to the Premier League, because I thought I was going to do it when I was manager of Preston. First Division, straight up Championship, but I lost in the playoff final to Big Sam's Bolton. Kieran's been able to take the team all the way, which is an unbelievable achievement. Which, when you have to jump those leagues, and we're talking about, we're all talking a lot about Wrexham at the moment, how well Wrexham's doing, and amazing what Phil Parkinson's done. But I think that Kieran has done that into the Premier League, which is so good. And let's just remember, Ipswich is a club if you're of a generation when you remember the Ipswich Town teams. They were fantastic, and they were challenging for Premier League titles. It wasn't Premier League then, but First Division titles at that time. So he's done it at a real football club, and he'll be disappointed with this season, but I think in the main he's done a brilliant job there.
Thank you.
Next in, we'll go to Julia at Radio Merseyside.
Just on Dominic, I appreciate, obviously, you're saying there's not been a contract on the table while you've been here. When Dominic Calvert-Lewin is fit, he is, a prolific striker. There is no doubt about that. But it's been fitness that has been the issue. Would that come in as a concern for you going forward? Is that something you look at, especially because it's probably going to be a small squad? Yeah,
I agree. I think when we come in, the biggest thing is we've had 10 injuries here, which has really worried me. I'm saying, why have we got so many injuries? We're hearing, I think Kieran McKenna's actually got a lot of injuries, or he has had in recent weeks. So it's something which we've got to make sure that we can't be bringing in players who are not going to be reliable, not going to be available. So it's hugely important to the decision making. Are we getting the value out the players for the games to play? So we need people to be available. There may be other reasons for it, but at the moment, those players need to sort of show that they can make themselves robust. For us to be successful, we need all the players fit and available.
It's been 4 Premier League wins at home this season, 2 games left against already relegated sides. Does that give you sort of that motivation to go out there and go out on a high at Goodison, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we're all desperate to finish our time at Goodison with great results. But I generally think that a lot of the work was done a few weeks ago when we had to beat the teams to make sure that we were in that position. If we were down to 2 games at home and we had to win to stay up, it'd be a different press conference. It'd be a much more anxious David Moyes, that's for sure. But the players have done the bulk of the work. The bit now is to see, are they going to drop their standards, or are they going to keep their standards high? Because in the main, their standards have been very good. All the games I've gone into, even against Chelsea last week, they've done a really good job. Not for all parts of it, but they've done a really good job. They played really well against Arsenal here at home. So I'm more interested to see if any of them are going to drop their standards and think that that's okay for them. So let's all watch.
There's been some debate on corners and sort of set pieces and the success rate for Everton in recent weeks. That's something that you've had a discussion with the players over.
It's been rubbish, and I'd be the first to say it. So there's whatever discussion MD's had, I would be the first one to join in and clap my hands with them as well.
What's it down to?
Delivery. Probably mainly delivery at the moment, I would put it down to. I think that you don't get the ball where we're planning to work to or do something. You need the quality of delivery to be much better. Our delivery has been really, really poor.
Finally from me, the 1878 are busy at Goodison dressing it for, and this is kind of new I think since you returned, it wasn't necessarily here in your first stint. They do a lot of work. I just thought, what do you make of what the fans have done for Goodison as it goes out?
Well, the 1878 group I got to know just recently. I think they do amazing work. They really do, the stuff they put together. And I think part of making stadiums great is the atmosphere. They've gone out their way to try and help make it better. Also visually, how it looks. I'm watching some of the semi-finals of Europa Leagues, Champions League, and the atmosphere within the stadiums is incredible. And the way they're setting up the theatres, to sort of take in the support and what they're doing, whether it be everybody with a scarf or everybody with plaques of some sort. So I think the 1878 group's done a great job with the flags, and just a picture of me, I'm not too sure that was the best decision. Yeah.
Thank you, good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks, Julia. We'll go to Carl at the Press Association.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Carol.
Just a quick one from me. Sorry to go back to Dominic again, but you've spoken about how fitness is an important thing, particularly in his case. Just wondering how that translates to the last few games of the season for him. Does he have to show you something in those 4 games, or is that too short a time window?
Well, it would probably be unfair to put the pressure on him like that, and it wouldn't be, because he's obviously not fit. He's not fit as far as he's not match fit. He's not had huge training with the team. I think he's only now probably had 3 days of training with us in total. So that would be really unfair to judge him. So we wouldn't do that. But it's not me who's always judging him, though. Evertonians are judging him. They'll have their own thoughts on how they think he's done over the years. I'll be the one who will make the final decision. But Dom's the one who has to show us that he can be robust, he can be fit to play. Undoubtedly, he's got qualities which other strikers don't have, and he has to show us all that. When he gets those opportunities, he's going to take it. The first game for me, he got me a goal against Tottenham. Probably made him feel a lot better, and I do believe if he'd been around the team, I think he'd have got a few more goals.
Considering you say that you can't judge on the last 4 games, but you want him to show he's going to be more robust, how will he be able to do that? How will he get the opportunities to do that?
It's nearly an impossible question, isn't it? Yeah. So we need him to become more robust, or we're not getting our value out of it. So we need him to be ready to train, play, be competitive, in more games than what he's been available for.
Have you spoken to him about maybe a summer program, summer fitness program, or something like that? Or
I'm sure. I'll tell you what, he's an incredibly conscientious boy. What I'm seeing about his body and how he keeps himself fit and how he works. He's worked privately in Germany for the last month or so to keep himself in the right shape. So he's got himself back, and let's see what he's done. He'll be back in amongst the squad tomorrow. But as a sort of reiterating, whether he's ready to play any minutes would be a big question.
Thanks, Carl. We'll finally go to Will.
Hi, David. Premier League, it's 2.8 million per place, as high as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Just the prize money in terms of, you mentioned budget here, you don't like that word, but I suppose that's something you can dictate if you finish higher. Does that come into your thinking in the last 4 games?
It's not that I don't like it. It's the word budget. When they said the budget, 2.8 winning prize money is different. It's a huge thing for all the teams. The incentive to win a league position, and sometimes people talk, and I'm just making a general point, people talk about cup competitions, all that. You don't win that prize money. That one place makes some difference over some of winning the League Cup, for example, doesn't match anything like that prize money. So it's so important, even every league position. So yeah, hopefully we can try and get ourselves as high up as we can.
Last week at Chelsea, you said that the substitutions made a difference. So the likes of Youssef Chamisi, Dwight McNeil, Charlie Alcaraz, did they come into the thinking for this game?
Ashley Young came on, done very well as well. So they all... but I think what I'm trying to drive through here is that that it won't just be 11 players. We're going to need 14, 15, certainly every game to get us results. I thought the changes at the time made a big difference. And look, we're always looking to see what's the best formation for us, what we can do. I want to also give some players opportunities to show what they're capable of. We've only got 4 games to go, so we'll continue to have a look at things.
In terms of Alcaraz, are you still weighing up a decision on him whether to make that parent in the sub in these last 4 games? Obviously, because it's not an obligation now. Yeah.
We're sort of keeping our eye on it and seeing what we think. He's done some really good stuff. He's come on and made a difference sometimes in the games which he's come on as a sub. He's had, in some ways, a bigger impact sometimes that way. But he's done some good things for us, we have to say that, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Will. Thanks, everyone. We'll now move on.